on like 6. What about 7? Yeah, I know.
Look at this team.
I'm good. Standing up.
Scoot down, OT.
Helmet in his face.
You may know them for the Meck Power Six Media Day. Mike Whitetail on their MC for today's event, and just to give you a little bit of understanding what's going to happen today is each team will ask a couple of questions here from the podium, and then we'll turn it over to the media to see what questions the media would like to ask for each of these student athletes and coaches. Then after that 10 to 15 minute period, we're going to have individual sessions for about 5 minutes. And we're going to ask if the media wants to do one-on-one sessions with any of the players, etc., to either do it outside that we have right out the doors here, or in that 5 minute section. Because in that 5 minutes, we're going to go to the next team to set up and then kick back off. If not, we're going to be here all day. And so we want to try to keep this accelerated and exciting for the student athletes as possible. At 3:20, right in the middle of this, we'll have the coaches' corner. We'll have all the coaches come up here, and that's where you guys can ask all the tough questions. But again, 10 to 15 minutes for that as well. So it's my joy to introduce the reigning state champions, the West Charlotte Lions, as the first team to probably the toughest conference in the state, the Meck Power Six. I think it has all the state championships in the state. So it's apropos to start with the state champions. And Coach Reiner, it's when looking at your schedule that you have this year, you start off with a great team in Grimsley, and it doesn't get much easier from there. But you bring into, if not the best defense in the state, along with you into this with a pretty dynamic offense. Can you talk a little bit about what to expect with these West Charlotte Lions this year and how you're building on just an excellent season in last year?
Yes, coming off the championship, what we're saying this year is basically when you're chasing number one, it's different than owning number one. You got to own being a champion now, and it's a different process about going about it. When you're being chased, you're not the one that's hunting anymore, but you got to stay on top. So it's a different mindset. And I think going into January this year, I realized that this team is very special when they're telling the coach, it's time to work out. And a lot of times I'm like, we just finished in Christmas. And a couple of weeks into January, they're like, Coach, let's go, let's get after it after school. And I'm like, guys, let's wait till February. And they're like, nah, we can't wait much longer. And so the ownership of this team of just wanting to be successful and not satisfied where they're at. A lot of people, you won the 3A state championship. DJ McFadden, this is his home here. He picks on us a good little bit, calling it the AAA. And we just want to leave nobody with any excuses at the end of this year. We start off with a tough schedule. And like you said, our defense is amazing. We're built upon defense. And offense is pretty explosive. I didn't know what going into the spring it would look like. But the ownership, the weight room, the character of these guys, being able to go through, I know 7-on-7 is not real football, but to go through that season undefeated was pretty special as well. And now we're excited about the summer aspect. Today was a beautiful day. It's raining, it's pouring, and we get a little weight room session. We go outside, and we didn't miss a beat. Today we got better, and first day of full contact was a very special event at West Charlotte on Bettysville Road, and we're excited about this season going forward.
And Coach, why don't you introduce the people to your left and to your right, because these state champions will probably get a lot of excitement and
yeah. So we got a lot of great athletes at West Charlotte, and we over here we got Sincere. He plays corner and safety for us. He started as a freshman, and last year he had a scare with a health issue. He was unable to play. Getting him back this season is going to be really good. His weight room dedication and gaining about 60 pounds off the injury is pretty awesome. Xavier Porter, corner, one of the tallest corners you'll see this year playing. His physicality, he's gained about 17 pounds as well. Excited about his growth in the weight room. And then we got the young guy, Jamil Watson, who's a linebacker, got his first offer at the 707 at UNC. Very Davion Jones, the blue chip, has profiles in his game. And then we got our leading our team. And, I'll never forget last year when KD, who's our captain of our team, with some of these other guys, he came to me personally and said that Jamari is his time now. And we didn't know how that would go, and obviously it ended pretty well for us. I'm excited going into the season. Jamari, and we go against, on paper, probably the best quarterback in the state, if not the nation. And we like our guy to see how he competes against him.
So we're going to turn over to the media, and Matt, I'll keep it alive. I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, the whole point of playing this game is to compete, to be the best, and we're going to go into the season very confident. And we're not going to say not cocky. We put in the work, and we're okay being hunted now. And I expect, if we went into the season and we won a lot of games and we made it to Thanksgiving and we played great, I would consider that a letdown season. We're here to win a championship. We want to win the first game, obviously, but at the end of the day, the final goal is to, keep the throne that we have built, and I think that we can win the state championship.
For any of the players, you guys win the state championship. You're young men, heads can swell, but how's the coach kind of kept y'all level-headed as y'all head into this season? For you players.
Can you repeat the question? I'll answer it.
Yeah, you won the state championship, so you come in as state champion. How's the coach kept y'all level-headed, kind of kept you grounded?
Every day, all the coaches is the standard has not changed ever since after the state championship. The standard has always been the same, and they always just stand on us. That was good. Yeah, there you go.
Don't get nervous in here.
How do you keep it level-headed?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily staying level-headed. It's just understanding the expectations. We got a lot of targets on our back, and we joke around back and forth. We're going to promote our team the best we can. We want everything to be the best, and we will remain the best. And a lot of people are going to come and try to tear that down. So it's just whatever you can own that. Own it, and at the end of the day, I want people to respect us at the end of the season and say, yeah, they're pretty daggone good.
You talked about the coaches here in the conference.
Yeah, there's legends. We were hoping Hills didn't come back, but somehow he showed up at one of our practices, and the next day he was named the head coach, and I was just like, wow, this is great. This is the best conference by far. Let's just say that. It's not even close. Football, basketball, trampoline, it doesn't matter. This is the best conference there is when it comes to championships and just expectations. The ability to compete on a day in and day out basis is going to be remarkable. I mean, every gate, I'm hoping everybody that plays sells out, because it should. There's a lot of history, and a lot of people might complain, but we love our conference. We're excited about it. I think everyone else in our conference is excited about it. So we'll see how it pans out. The strength of the team? Definitely the leadership within the players. We always said as a coaching staff, we were here to try to build the foundation based upon our faith in the way we approach the game. But once the players take ownership of that, I think we had that transition happen last year. And a lot of times it comes through adversity. And I would say the strength of this team is the leadership within the players. We hold each other accountable. Yes, a lot of them are still student athletes that can make mistakes and we can recorrect, but the norm is this is the expectation. This is the standard. We're going to do everything at a championship level. And when it drops off, they know it. And so a lot of times the coaches we just kind of steer it a little bit, but it's the players that make the ship go.
I know I'm a dog, so it's just like I'm gonna bring everything to the table that they need me to do. Safety, corner, nickel, whatever that is.
He's a dog.
We have time for about 2 more questions. Yep.
Yeah, mine's for safety. Same year you became a highly recruited player and you committed to Elon. What went into your decision?
They just feel like the school that was for me, it was the best option, so I just went with it. It was no reason to wait, look for other schools. Yeah.
Tell them about your visit.
My visit, it was great. I was with the players. We was out all night getting lit. Woke up in the morning. I had a meeting with the coach. Then I was like, let's do it. You feel me?
Any additional questions for Coach?
I got one for the quarterback. Who is the hardest to throw on? Sincere or safety?
Ooh.
Man, come on, man. Don't be like that. It's hard. They on both sides, so wherever. I don't know. They both good, man. I can't do that. These my guys, man.
I like it. Round of applause for the reigning state champion, the West Charlotte Lions. We'll
Appreciate
have a 5-minute break here where you can do some one-on-ones with the Lions, and then if it's going to be relevant to the side as well, we'll do the changeover. And then Coach will be back at 3:20 for coaches.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Over here with
Y'all trying.
Concise and professional. Concise. Don't even know what that means, bro. Concise, like short.
Precise is short.
Same difference, bro. Not precise for sure.
Same difference, bro. If you keep it concise and professional,
Look, man,
you will sound
this is a
way
big
better
thing
than
for
what you
us.
think you sound, bro.
Me and
If you
Perry,
sound crazy, most likely you're sounding right.
me and Perry didn't believe this would ever happen to us. So we're just, we're enjoying the moment.
You gotta have expectations.
Like, Cook has been here before.
I mean, I was supposed to, but I won't.
Good, man.
Good?
Good, man. Everything all right?
Good.
Got a nice little shape up where it came up.
Shape up. Just shape it off.
With our second team of the evening, and that's Mallard Creek. And coach, you guys come in, that's Brett's number 6 in the state as they ranked in the top 25. You start off with a tough team in the state runner-up in Rollsville this year, with probably one of the more dynamic and toughest schedules in the country when you look week in and week out is on your schedule. This comes in coming off of a strong season, 10-3 last year, where you lost in the third round to the Hub. But it wasn't just that our focus on. You bring in a lot of talent this year to this rich program, but with the loss of a lot of seniors. Talk to us about how this young team is going to integrate with that first early season test within Roseville.
So first, I'd like to thank everyone for being a part of this, and thank DJ for working hard to set this up and organize it. We're really excited about the new conference and the new opportunity to play against some of the elite teams. We've always believed in playing the best in tough competition, and our goal is to give the kids the best chance to compete against the best. And so we're excited about that. And with the new conference, unfortunately, there's just no weeks off. I mean, we're going to have to play every week against a really great opponent, which I think is going to be fun and enjoyable. As far as the team and the young team, it definitely creates a lot of challenges. We got our senior class here that has been really working, and I'm excited because some of them, all these guys have had a role on our team, but we got a number of seniors that will have increased roles this year, and so it gives them the opportunity to kind of represent and hold the fork as far as what Mallard Creek has been. And I think every year we've gotten better. We still haven't gotten into where we wanted to be, honestly, but we have improved every year. And so the challenge will be, how do you improve with a much younger team? And I'll let KP add to that.
Based on what Coach is saying, we have a younger team, so now using the team themes, the brotherhood, strengthening each other, it's easy to lead yourself, making sure yourself is straight, but it's a little bit more complex, bringing others with you, and that's why we chose the theme of the brotherhood, to bring others and run the song in such a way to where we can be a full team and dominate.
And Coach, why don't you introduce who you brought with you today?
I sure will. So on the outside, that's Khalil Price. He's one of our starting receivers. He's committed to Campbell, and we're really excited. He's had a fantastic career. He's just coming off of a state championship in track as well. So it's been a fun year watching him grow. But I'm probably most proud of him right now. He had a fantastic practice yesterday, but I'm most proud of him for his. He has really improved as a leader. And I will actually, I said this in front of the team the other day, after meeting with his parents, I saw more effort in him, particularly to lead. And he's doing a great job. And so that goes back to our family and our culture. And it's not just with the players, with the families as well. And so that's something that I'm proud of. Next is Deuce Majette. Deuce has been plays linebacker and has a couple offers, but is a fantastic player for us. He's the son of the D coordinator, and so he's had a tough road as a coach's kid, but very proud of him, and he's been an excellent leader for us. Next is my baby Perry Justice. And so Perry, a lot of these stories, but I'll tell you one. Me and Perry going to church together, and I'm very proud of his maturity as a young man, and I think he's got a chance to be the surprise of this conference. just based off of what he's doing for us right now. He's actually playing both ways, so he's playing defense and offense while playing quarterback, so which is extremely challenging. But he has done really well this offseason and this summer, and so that will be an interesting role as far as how we work that out. But he's had a great summer, and he's been a fantastic leader for us. To my right is the thumper, Sky Mustafa, and he's been a Sky as normal. He had a little battle, some injuries at the beginning of the summer. He had a hamstring deal, but he started camp off the right way. And per usual, we're asking him to kind of tone it down in practice, So he's doing well. Also proud of the Sky as far as academically and as a student, man. Great kid, great all-around leader for us. And then last is my other son, Anthony Cook. Cook has been probably a great representation of what Mallard Creek is all about. He's very unselfish and has expanded his role vocally. And he's a track guy. Coach Tinsley loves those track guys, but he has done really well. And so there's a number of other seniors. I wish I could bring all of them that I enjoy the growth. Watching them mature. This is probably one of my most knucklehead groups that I've had at Mallard Creek. And so their opportunity to lead and represent is we've been waiting for this a long time. We've been concerned about this a long time, but they've answered the bell, and so looking forward to this season.
Coach, you said you guys have not gotten to where you want to be just yet.
Yeah.
What's going to be the key to getting there?
Yeah. So the key to me is consistency, and we had this talk. There's different ways to run a program, and there's a lot of great head coaches in our conference. You look at what Grinder's done, you look at Coach Hales and his career, you look at what DJ's done in a short amount of time, and yet we're all different. And in my opinion, the key is mastery of what the expectations are in the culture of your program. And I don't think we've mastered what we set out to do and be. We've gotten better. But we have not mastered that as far as the day in, day out work that it takes to be the best versions of ourselves. So that's my opinion. I'll let Deuce add to that.
To go over what Coach said, basically, we just need to be a lot more consistent. I'd say on and off the field, just with leadership and everything right. And then I feel like that will become a way better team. To also go back to the fact that our team is now brotherhood. We got to lift all each other up, help each other out, and I feel like this year is our year.
Yes. So, Langston, you're asking how does the conference? Yep. Yeah. Langston, I don't think it changes anything. We want the best, toughest schedule. If we were at a different school, then I would think differently. Because of who we are, I feel like we can handle what we schedule. I think the kids are motivated based off of what we put out in front of them. So we put the best schedule out there for them, and I tell them that I have done everything that I possibly can to give them the best opportunity that we can. The athletic director is in line with that, and the principal's in line with that. And so we're all on one accord in that manner. And so as far as conference play, the playoff, I think we will be well seasoned and ready for anybody. At the very least, whoever we play, we should be a tough out. I would think that's the very least. Perry, what do you think about conference play and playoff?
I would just like to say that we're going to shock everybody. Like, we're going to surprise, everybody who doubts us.
Go.
It went back in the mic.
He said, why you feel that way?
Why I feel that way? Just very confident. Tired. I'm tired of how everybody talks down on us. That's really it.
Sure.
Talk about the juggling and the balance of that because you don't want to put your star quarterback.
Yeah. So to answer that question, number one, we're defense first. You know what I mean? We're going to put out the best defense. In our opinion, there's not many points scored, then we got a chance to win the football game. So if we need to, whoever has to play defense is going to play defense so that we have an elite defense. The juggling part of that is that one, got to have confidence in Perry to be able to balance both and be prepared for both. The concern will be physically, you know what I mean? Him playing safety. That would definitely be a concern. But ultimately, that means we got confidence in our other quarterbacks. And we have a young quarterback that we're really excited about that's been getting better. We had a transfer quarterback that's got a chance to be a good player down the road. And so that gave us 3, you know what I mean? And so ultimately, to answer your question, defense first, you know, and we feel like Perry can handle it, then we're going to put it on him. We've actually did some studies on some other teams this past offseason, high school-wise, and we went to one at Bixby High School in Oklahoma. They play guys both ways, so we looked at what their approach is in doing that, and we felt like the programs as far as numbers aligned, you know. So that was another reason philosophically, I guess.
Barrett, quick question. So playing both sides, see the defensive side, has that helped you as a quarterback? Have you seen, did your eyes open up as a QB to maybe some things you didn't realize beforehand?
A little bit. Really, how could I really put this? It helped a lot.
You got time for about 2 more questions, especially to our gentleman on the right-hand side. Give them some mic time as well.
I think playing for Coach Tinsley is it's a great thing because Coach Tinsley, he doesn't only make you a better football player, but he makes you a better person too. Like as a man, like outside of football, like he teaches you to do things the right way, and you know, like everything else outside of football too. But also football, he makes you a great football player and a better person.
I would say playing for Coach Tinsley, just getting to know him personally has made me a better person through track. We spent a lot of quality time together. Definitely made me a better person off the field, a better quality person, being a better leader on the field. And I just want to be one of those players that he talks about when I'm gone to those young guys, and I want to leave Mallard Creek better than I found it. So kind of going back to what Matt said about finishing and getting better, not to the standard of Mallard Creek where we're not at yet and we're trying to strive. I think leaving it better than we found it goes back to winning those games. Like last year, we were in a 28-14 game versus Grayson. So 7 minutes left, 14-28. I mean, anything can happen. So just finishing out those games, winning the big games. Obviously, we got to stay on our record last year from Huff, so that hurts. But I mean, go up to Ohio, beat one of the best teams up there, and then beat the 1A state champs, Prince Avenue. So things like that, finishing out and leaving Mallard Creek better than we found it.
And the 1A state champs, West Charlotte.
Oh yeah, and those guys, West Charlotte. We beat them last year too.
Excellent. We're now going to have the 5-minute interchange where you'll have a chance to interview and talk with Mallard Creek directly, and we'll have Independence come in and do the change.
Yeah, forward.
Thank you.
Real quick. You get a real quick.
Yeah, we ready to roll. Yeah, let's roll. Look at this.
We are
We got
back,
shit to
and we
do.
want to welcome the Independence Patriots to Media Day. And Coach, you come in at number 9 in the state, according to Max Express. Start off the season against Gaffney. You lost in the second round against Huff, but again, another 10-win season for a program that you said last year that, 10 wins, we want to get better, we want to kind of improve. And so this year you have to improve with a new quarterback, so there's a lot of change happening here in Mid-Hill. Talk to me a little bit about how you're preparing, how you bring a new quarterback into this system, etc.
I mean, yeah, it's obviously new for us. I mean, the last 3 years we've been spoiled to have Justin and, going to the spring, not really having to do much installs. So with a new quarterback, hasn't been much of an adjustment. I mean, he's come in, hit the ground running. He's picked up the offense pretty well. He's done a good job. I think the most impressive thing about how he's come in is how he's come in with the team and just kind of stepping into that leadership role. Um, but yeah, I mean, this year, coming off another 10-win season, our main thing is trying to get over the hump. Trying to figure out for us what's going to get us to that next level. I mean, we've been to the semifinals, we've been to the third round. Now we're just trying to figure out internally how do we get over that hump.
And how do you prepare for a team like Gaffney as a week 1 out-of-state opponent?
Well, the good thing about that is I mean, we've been down there to scrimmage Gaffney in a half of football for the past 3 years. And before we left this year, we was just like, yo, if I come back, we playing the game this year. So we're very familiar with them. We understand the atmosphere that we're going to be in. We understand how good Gaffney is. So we're going to treat it like any other game. I mean, we're going to prepare. We got our hands full. But our kids are prepared for the challenge, and they've been working hard all summer for it. And we're excited. We're 2 weeks away. It's right here. So we're just excited to see what these guys do when we get out there.
And before I turn it over to Matt, Jaden, I have a question for you. A 2,000-yard season last year, one of the tops in the state when you look at, you were a top 5 running back. But when I read all the running back lists and whatnot, I don't see Jaden Jones' name on it. What does that do to fuel you after the basically wonderful season you had last year to not see your name as some of the elite in the state?
I think I don't really worry about like my name and papers, all that. I'm just coming out here to execute what I'm supposed to do on the field and just come play football. Do what I do best.
I like it. The team first mentality.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Well, tell us in that same vein, DJ, he's expressed on social media his frustration with rankings, where your team has been ranked, kind of, I guess, lower than what you expect. Expressing those things on social media, why do you feel like that's really important?
I mean, we feel like as a whole that there's a tier of teams that we don't get mentioned with, and we like to think that consistency means a lot to us. And over the last 3 years, we've been pretty consistent with what we put out there. I mean, we're 32-8. There's only really one other team in Charlotte that has more wins than us, and that's Huff. I like to think a lot of the rankings are what should be and what could be, rather than what is and what has been. And that's kind of where I go with that. Well, obviously, we got our 2 running backs right here, Jaden and Travis Hill. I mean, Jaden gets a lot of the pub, but Travis Hill is just as good. He's an all-conference running back as well. So we like to think we're going to be able to run the football. Our back 7 is extremely talented and fast. We're going to rely on those guys and Nick back there to make a lot of plays. So, yeah, I would have to say probably our back 7 in our run game.
So, Dallas, you've turned into a leader your sophomore year. Coach talked a little bit about Media Day, you turning into a leader there. Now being a senior, I believe a University of Virginia commit. Talk about what you're doing to bring that leadership for the 3rd year to a defensive program that only allowed, I think it was 15 points a game. So how do you get better as a leader and the people around you?
I feel like leadership starts with what you do, and then people gonna follow if they see what you're doing correctly. So I try to set the tone for the defense every day in my work, and then just try to pull guys along. So you gotta bring the best out of guys every day, and that's what I try to do. So make sure I'm doing what I'm doing at a high level, and then try to bring them along and accelerate them from where they're at. Say how much weight? What are they saying?
What you said, Coach? Repeat that real quick. Nah, not really. I just I just go out there, do my thing. Honestly, I don't really worry about all that. I just honestly, it ain't slow down. It's the same to be real. Nah. See that I'm not worried about that to be real. That's not the main thing. I'm just going out there to play football. I want to win. That's what I'm doing. I ain't worried about how much yards I get. I ain't worried about all that. I'm just here for my team, trying to provide for the team, trying to win. So that's really it.
This is Derek. Derek, how has it been kind of transitioning into this program? And do you feel comfortable with what you got in
Yeah, the transition was great. I got here, Coach McFadden taught the offense to me, and I just kind of just had it all in, brought it all in. Everybody around me, just welcomed me here, and taking the leadership, the offense, and trying to be the leader of, after Justin leaving for 3 years, it's been a little rough, but we're working there.
That's kind of piggyback off that. You take over a program like this, it's kind of been like a quarterback university, long history. Obviously, the coach being one of them, the trainer being another. How do you want to see your mark as well?
I just want to just leave my own mark by just winning games, to be honest. I mean, the goal here is just to win games, win championships. So I just want to be remembered as a winner.
Jerry, how do your skills translate into this offense? How do you kind of plus this offense with your skills?
My skills, I think I got a 3 level. I'm athletic. I can throw every throw on the field. Um, can throw out routes, comebacks. I feel like whatever coach asks me to do, I can do.
So Nick, you had an injury last year, early in the season. Talk to about your health. And I believe you're a University of Notre Dame commit. So are you healthy again? You're to be able to play week 1 and what we should expect from your senior year?
Yes, sir. I feel great. The fact that I can be able to just sit here and say that I'm playing football again is a blessing. The fact that I can put my cleats on and just go grind with the guys. Yes, I'm committed to Notre Dame, but I don't really think about that when I'm on the field. I just think about something I can do to help the team, to make plays, be able to say, yeah, that's a Notre Dame commit when you're out there.
How will being in this conference help you guys get to that? You talk about that level. How will being in this tough league help you guys get to that?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be everything. I mean, I think somebody said it earlier. I mean, the moment we open up conference play, you're in the playoffs. And you got teams like West Charlotte, the defending champs, and Mallard Creek and Butler's in the north. So, I mean, it's a tough conference in the state. So, and then you add that to our non-conference with Gaffney, Huff, Christian, Lake Norman, Palisades. I mean, we like to call it a 10-week playoff schedule. So we like to think as long as we can get out of that thing healthy, we should be well prepared for the playoffs. But it's going to be fun. I mean, we told the kids last couple weeks ago, like, we won't have any off weeks this year. Once we hit it, we're hitting the ground running.
And Trav, you haven't gotten a question yet, but talk to me about, that running back room and where your leadership comes out as a senior and what your role is going to be on this team to get over the hump, as Coach has been talking about.
Well, I feel as far as the running back room, me and Jaden, we've been doing this for going on our 3rd year, so we're pretty confident in the offense. And going into my senior year, I'm gonna be a little more versatile, catching out the backfield, more blocking, and really just running the ball this year. We're always gonna take pride in doing that. So that's how I feel going into this year.
Any additional questions for Coach or any of the Patriots?
Yeah. Nick, why did you
The biggest reason I chose Notre Dame was networking. I feel like, football doesn't last for long. They always use the same 4 for 40, which is just the 4 years in college and really 40 years of life. So really just, being able to sit back and say that when I get that degree from Notre Dame, I'll be set for life.
All right, that will bring the end of the Patriots' time. They'll have a 5-minute break just for the media again, but then we'll come back to the Coach's Corner. And I think Coach Griner has a question right away. He said going into the coaches' corner. So,
Hey, good job, guys. Good
we'll
job,
start
Jay.
there, and then we'll bring all the coaches back up. But the next 5 minutes will be with the Patriots.
Get the fuck out of here.
Look, now that
You get in the middle, man. You the new guy, man.
I gotta keep it mellow head. If I get right there, me, I'm gonna start the argument. Shit, like, come on, man. Yeah, you right there. Yeah, we're good. Come on, you're good. Man, I don't want to be like him.
We gotta show that we never got an argument.
This is for everybody. You guys are in the most ridiculously hard conference in the state of North Carolina. I don't know if you made that or what happened with the other conferences, but talk about the preparation that you're going to have week in and week out when you have a playoff game. It seems like exceedingly every week.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I mean, it's a 5-week playoff schedule before the playoffs, and you got to prepare as such. There's going to be no off weeks, so I'm pretty sure just myself and everybody else up here, we're going to approach every conference game like the playoffs as far as the preparation and what we do in practice.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty exciting as far as the competition. You know what I mean? Some of the teams we don't get to play as often. You know what I mean? We had a huge game against Indy a couple years ago, and so now to be able to play them every year during the time where they have right now, that's the Rising program in the state, and it's going to be great. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, like they said, I think it's fun. 5 playoff games before the playoffs. I grew up playing in this conference. I've been in this conference 7 years now, so this conference is all I know, really. So I love the competition. I'm looking forward to it.
When you see the conference come out, obviously, you know, you want to be in a great conference because of the rules of the RPI. We couldn't ask for something better. Not just football, too. I know this is all football, but in all sports, I think it's going to be very competitive throughout the year. Excited to be a part of it. And, you know, we'll look forward to it'd be really cool to see every team in this conference make the playoffs, which is a possibility going forward based upon the new rules. And I think that is a possibility. I think that'd be very unique, and we could brag about that throughout the state. I think that'd be a pretty cool goal.
I think hands down, this is the toughest conference in North Carolina, by far. To have all these schools in the conference that's been successful, 17 state, titles out of this conference, and just to have the opportunity to go out and compete each week in this conference is going to be big. Like Coach just said, the RPI is going to be very high, so that's a plus for this conference. And I'm just excited that we're in this conference, man, and we get to go out there and compete. Like you said, the playoffs before the playoffs. We're going to get the guys ready to go out there and play each and every week.
What's the question? No, I mean, the really cool thing for me about it anyway is just the history that's up here. You know, and I know for us at Butler, I mean, I look down the road here, we've got history with every one of these schools in the playoffs, not just regular season games, but, I mean, you got Old Buddy down the end there, we used to play them twice a year for about 8 years, and then you get to Creek, there's a while we were playing them twice a year, and again, you know, with North and Chambers and West Shaw, these are all teams that we've played in the playoffs before, so just that familiarity and that historical perspective is going to be really, really cool out there.
I love it. And Coach, we'll bring the microphone from down to you this way. There's a lot of things, a lot of articles that were written last year, et cetera, but I'm going to take the question a different way. I see a lot of imbalance in the state with rules of how kids can choose schools. When you look at different counties, there's different rules, et cetera. Talk a little bit about when you play these teams from like Greensboro and things like that, where they have these school choice type of programs. You know, what does Charlotte Mecklenburg, or what do we need to do as a state to bring balance for kids to be able to go to programs that can get them to the next level and really build on their skill set?
Yeah, you know, I think to answer that, Mike, you know, for me, we don't really concern ourselves with other teams, what other programs are doing. You know, all we can really do is prepare our team. You know, now, if we're playing a team, they've got different rules and this and that, like, yeah, that's not really fair. Like, something's got to be done about that. I think there's got to be some type of just statewide rule, like either it's open enrollment or like South Carolina just went to the one-time transfer, whatever the case may be. But, you know, like you said, we're not playing on the same playing field. You know, even in terms of being academically eligible. Some districts have a 2.0, some have a 1.5, some have a 1.0. So no, I do think there is a definite imbalance, and I think that's for people that get paid a heck of a lot more than the guys at this table to figure out and decide. But no, I do think something has to happen. But again, when you talk about this conference, we got to prepare ourselves every week. We don't have time to worry about what's going on in Greensboro or Raleigh or anything like that.
I look at it as like you got to control what you can control. We only can control what we can control, being in CMS, so we only can control that. So we can't worry, like Coach Hill said, we can't worry about, what they do in Greensboro, Raleigh, and stuff like that. We only can control what we can control, and that's trying to get our guys ready each and every week.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's hit on all the angles on this question. I would just say that what are other counties doing to be like Charlotte area? If we can look at our CMS, top to bottom, we are probably the best county there is in the state of North Carolina, not just conference. So a lot of teams need to look at maybe what we're doing, and maybe our standards are a little higher, but it raises our level of play as well.
Yeah, I think they already hit it. Control the controllables. I mean, like I said, we don't get paid to worry about what Greensboro's doing. We try to worry about our four walls at North Meck, and that's all we can really worry about.
I'm actually going to go a little bit different. I got 4 little ones, 2 of them in high school that go to Mallard Creek. And I think the imbalance in our county and in other counties is an issue. I think part of the issue is the lack of emphasis on the coaches. There are certain coaches that do a fantastic job, and that school invests in the coach and the program. So Mallard Creek, if you go talk to our principal, football success is very important to him. And it's going to show based off of decisions that he makes. There's other programs that doesn't have a leader like Dr. Thompson. And so therefore their parents or those parents are going to look to be a part of a program where their kid can get the best opportunity they possibly can. So I think we got to be honest and say that some programs do a great job. Those coaches are doing a great job. And then there's some programs that aren't. And then there's some programs, you take Jupiter at Garinger, who is doing twice amount of far work that Coach Tinsley has to do on a day in and day out. I ride to school, and if I say be there at 6:15, I know everybody better be there at 6:15. I don't have to go and pick up 10 kids before practice. So there is an imbalance in communities and schools that needs to be addressed so that everybody has the same advantage. And to me, that would be that you got to put emphasis on the leadership, And so if there's no, if the coaches aren't valued and the athletic director isn't valued within the county or the school community, then you're going to have those issues. And as a parent, I do understand because I want my kids to be in the best school that they possibly can, that I can afford, and I want them to have the best opportunity they can. I want them to have great coaches and great teachers and great community support.
Yeah, I agree with what Coach Tinsley said. I just think that if we could put more emphasis, like you said, on the coaches and the buildings, then that will kind of help with some of this imbalance. Everybody knows the state of CMS and the coaches and whatnot, and facilities as well too. I think that plays a big role as well too. Some of these kids are choosing where they want to go, and a lot of times, they'll just ride by a school and mark a school off just based on what it looks like from the outside. So, I agree 100% with what Coach Tinsley said.
Yeah, guys, I really respect what you guys do, and you guys have been around for a long time in Charlotte, which is a little bit rare, Some of you guys, are kind of desired by other programs, let's be honest about it. But what can schools and CMS do to keep you guys around for a long time?
Good question. Go ahead, DJ, start the show.
Look, I like to think that coaching is the one profession that we get away with saying, in it for the money, and we use that as a reason not to give us more money. And I'll just kind of leave it there.
You know, there's a ton of issues, and I know financially, I mean, the whole country has financial issues. I would say the bottom line is we've got to be honest about the entertainment business in relation to athletics. You know, I mean, it's very important for a school community to have good athletic programs, and it has a lot of advantages. And so the leaders of those programs should be valued, whether that's financially, whether that's and it's not that hard. There's other that we got states connected to us that value coaches and value the kids as such. And I don't know why or how tax dollars work or why that's different. But I do know that we could definitely do a better job because our kids deserve it. And even if, you know, I need to get paid more. But even if I didn't, our assistant coaches got to get paid more because they're here with us all summer long, and they don't get a dime in relation to what we get. And that's probably one of my top concerns, because how can you ask coaches to be there for our kids for half a day, you know what I mean, or 3-4 hours, and then they're essentially, I mean, volunteering that. I think it's really unfair and it's unrealistic. If you don't practice for a certain amount of time daily in the summer, then we can do all the press conferences we want. Your team's not going to be very good, especially in a conference like ours. You got no shot. So there's work that has to be done to give the kids a chance to be successful, and that work has to be provided by people, and it's unfair to ask them to do it for free. You know what I mean? I think it's unrealistic.
I got no problem talking about this. Yeah, so I think it's the one thing that needs to change. Your question asked, what do you do to keep CMS coaches? What are you going to do to get some of these young guys like McFadden, Cap that just came involved? You know, Coach Ellis and I have been in the game. He's been a lot longer than me a little bit, but looks a little better than me. But 20 years coaching. This year in CMS, been in there, you know, this will be the 20th year. What do you have to do? You got to take a different approach. They're taking our kindness for weakness, an aspect that, oh, we care about kids, we care about, yes, we do, of course we do, but that has to show up somehow, some way. You can incentivize it. I don't know where certain money comes from. It's not necessarily like Coach said, it's directed at us, but what's the reward for staying to 20 years, to 25 years? What's the award to after 10, you know, I want to stay back. That 11th year, there's a different bump. Why do you want to have a successful team when you don't get paid a dime in the playoffs, assistant coaches or head football coaches? This is the only thing that I've never seen success be rewarded. And a lot of these guys control the culture of a school. So you'll go into day one, we're all playing a football game before they step one day in academic setting. So teachers will be in that week, we'll play a football game on that Friday, and then the following week they will go to school. The culture will be set. You win that football game, you know, we actually play in Bank of America Stadium. We come back with a victory. You don't think that school is going to be a little bit different? All the work that's put in, is that not worth anything? Of course it is. So we need to do something different. Do we have all the answers? All we're asking one day is to sit down with us. If you value us and you value your student athletes, because they do want to play and be a part of certain things. A lot of these guys at this table, our players are not leaving anywhere. They're staying right where they're at because they believe in what we're doing. That means something, and it needs to have a different plan going forward.
Man, wow. I'm the first year head coach, so me being assistant coach for the past couple of years, I sat there and seen like some of the stuff that the head coach had to do. So I respect every single guy, every coach that's up here, because the time in me taking over a job and seeing how much time being a head coach that you have to put into it, I was sitting there like, wow. You know, I had to pinch myself like, yo, like, do I really want to do this? Because the time that these guys and what we put into it, and what the pay is, it's not worth it. I'm just being honest. If you don't love these games and love the kids, you wouldn't do it. I'm just being 100% with y'all. You have to love the kids and you have to love the games to do it. Sometimes we spend late nights in the office trying to prepare for games, trying to get these guys ready to roll on practice scripts and different things like that. Sometimes you have to tell yourself, man, I need to take myself home. I need to go home to my wife and my family. You know, you have to do that. And the time that you put in is, the pay is, it's ridiculous. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. And I talk to my assistant coaches all the time about it. I was like, listen, y'all don't understand. You know, I remember when I was at another school and I used to just, all right, coach, see you later. I'm going home all up by my day. I see him tomorrow, the next day at 1:30 or 2 o'clock before we're going to practice field. Now I got to make sure the jerseys are clean and things like that, all these different things. And I'm sitting there like, I'm spending most of my days at this school. And I have to respect for all the guys up there. They've been doing it longer than me. This is my first year being a head coach. But I can sit here and tell y'all that to me, it's not worth what they do. You know, they definitely have to get better with that for sure. That's how you keep it. Like, everybody can say, oh, till we blue in the face that, oh man, it ain't about this, and that. But at the same time, if you win in football games, that stadium is packed, and everybody know football teams really drive the school. You know, we can say basketball, track, and all that, but if you have a good football team, that's the culture of your school.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot left to be said, but, you know, I think one of the important things that, and I think it was Sam touched on, was that I think a lot of times our kindness is mistaken for weakness. And they look and say that, hey, this stuff's going to get done. You know, whether we pay these guys or not, because they care about these kids, because they care about these programs, it's going to get done. But, you know, I think at the end of the day, if you want to do something, you're going to find a way. And if they want to take care of it, they'll find a way. But it's just like you tell your kids, like, if you want to do something, find a way. If you don't want to do something, find an excuse. So, you know, I think we've been on basically the same pay scale here for about probably 12 or 13 years. And like I said, the same world we lived in 12, 13 years ago, but we're still forced to live the same way because we love our kids, because we're willing to do what it takes for our kids. And I think we do get taken advantage of because of that.
Coach Ed, so you had the chance last year to sit on our side.
Yeah.
What you learned, how did it help you grow as a coach to see the TV side, the press side of it?
Man, we could sit here for hours and I can tell you the things that I learned. You know, just in the last year, no offense to Cap, but you guys, thanks by the way, because I get to go to every one of the practices last year. Since I was there in the spring, I got to go see all these guys.
Day before the
Yeah, and they're all so generous with their time. But, you know, the biggest thing I saw, not just going to their practices and see them, but like seeing things up close when I saw them, it's just how important it is to have that strong leadership and to have a plan and to give the kids something to believe in. You know, if you show up and you're prepared, these kids are going to jump right in behind you because you're somebody worth following. But I was also to a lot of other places, not just our conference, where as soon as I get on the field, I'm like, oh, that's why. You know, that's why maybe this program isn't successful. That's why this program is successful because, you know, and again, a lot of our teams take on our personalities. So really being able to see that and then to see the importance of having assistant coaches, not just there at practice, but having coaches that are there in the building as well. You know, and again, that goes back to, you know, the question we were asked just a little bit ago about the commitment to our programs, but just to step back and see how important that structure is, how important it is. And it wasn't X's and O's, and I'm sure I picked up some X's and O's along the way, but for me, it's just how important that leadership is, and to have a plan and to give the guys somebody to trust and somebody to follow.
Other questions?
I got no problem.
So I'll end it with this question. I told you I'd come back to you, Coach Griner. You got your chance to respond to the Mallard Creek "they beat you" question that you said you wanted a chance to respond to.
We talking about last year, correct? Yeah, I appreciate that. Like he said, the adversity, you know, losing those 2 games last year, I think it helped us find out who we are. The problem they're going to have is we know who we are now, and we'll see.
Coach Tinsley a chance to respond, and then we'll end.
Just really happy and excited about the season.
We look forward to September 26th.
I do that one, Coach. I do that one, Coach.
Yeah, get the good questions going. What y'all doing, media?
Out of here again. Don't worry about it.
You did what? Oh.
No, I'm just playing. No. No, for sure, man. Like, Brian's a good friend of mine. He understands how important the rivalry is, and I miss the Twitter back and forth, but they don't make us end up. We'll see.
The rivalry that last year we did get in. We get these things down. And I was talking to somebody this, the old school independent West Charlotte Memorial State. This is just a conference where it's just a hodgepodge of just history of Charlotte. How exciting is that to have that history?
No, it's fun. Like I said, West Charlotte Independence is an old rivalry. Butler Independence is a rivalry. Back in the day, Independence North Meck used to be in the same conference. So, and we just played Mallard Creek a couple years ago. So, that's very exciting to have some of these old rivalries back and just good matchups each and every week.
I think something that's really cool, is unique of what you're saying. You know, it's a lot of rivalries. You know, a lot of times you choose a homecoming game based upon, it's a lot of distractions during a homecoming game. And I had a lot of admin this off season. You know, a lot of times you want to do a homecoming game in October. That's kind of like the perfect time frame. We look at our schedule, and I said, listen, I'm not doing no homecoming game versus anybody in this conference. I said, I'm gonna choose another game. And so the respect out there that I don't want to have any distractions during a homecoming week, I didn't schedule anybody up here for a homecoming game. Now, I don't know about the rest of them, but I just hope we're not on their schedule for a homecoming. We'll see.
We'll have 5 minutes with the coaches if you guys have any questions with the coaches, and then we will bring up North Mecklenburg.
Hey, thanks for being
Rebuilding. So what's the goal for this team this year?
Well, I mean, just growing up as a young player, going through college, I mean, the goal is always to win. It doesn't matter when you get it, how you get it, the goal is always to win. I feel like you can still see a good season for 10 games. And, I mean, that's the goal. We kind of been carrying like a mantra this year. We call it "We're gonna rob the bank." We're coming to kind of take what's not ours from everybody else. A lot of times people show North Bend as a win on their schedule. And I mean, we're coming into those games with different attitudes. We want to take what's not ours.
Coach, how personal is turning North Meck around to you, being a former starter?
Oh, I mean, it's extremely personal. I completely
changed my life to come into the school system to try to change this program around. I've been offered different positions in different schools, different states. Probably would have been a better position for me, but it wouldn't have fulfilled me as much as being at North Meck. So this is extremely personal for me. Like Coach was saying earlier, we spend a lot of time. I mean, I spend more time at that field house than I do at home. I spend more time with these kids than my biological kids. And so it's definitely very personal for me at this point.
Thanks, Coach. You just talked about your commitment to the program, and I know last year when we talked at this time, a lot of what you were doing was trying to build that culture for this team. How have you seen that pay off this offseason? What differences have you noticed from the season?
Well, I think we're just a lot more mentally tough. Before you say get on the line, you hear a whole bunch of grunts. We don't want to get on the line. We don't want to do an extra rep. Or we don't want to do overtime. And now it's just nothing. Now it's like, let's get it. And if you do hear somebody that's running, you like, man, you gotta get in line. And so I do feel like I got the position in May of last year. So I'm actually just passing a year in this role. And I do feel like I've transitioned down to the kids. I can honestly say they're a reflection of me now. And when I coach, I don't play or coach the moves. And I think that's kind of our attitude right now.
Mikel, is that how you say it? Yes, sir. Got it. So he said 2 knee surgeries?
Yes, sir.
What pushes somebody like yourself to come back from that? What's the motivating factor?
It's love the game. I love to dominate and impose my will on different players. So I love the game enough to come, be a part of this team and continue to work with them and hopefully be a good asset to this team this year.
And Gabe, when you hear him speak like that, I mean, there's a guy blocking for you. What goes through your mind when you got somebody like that on the line that doesn't get all the love and glory a lot of times? What does that mean to you?
To me, it means when you let it in. I love being on this line. I really do. They're going to put some hard work and work through every golf I mean, let's just do it.
Coach, you got some new pieces on offense this year. Just kind of talk about, what we can expect from that unit, what you think the strengths are, what you guys are working on offense.
Oh, well, yeah, we did get some new pieces. He's not here. We got a kid from my school who's very electric. He just showed up at our front door from Connecticut. He's very explosive. We got 3 returning O-linemen back, so we're pretty solid on the O-line. We got that type of experience. We got Gabe, who's kind of our thunder with the ball. He's one moving downhill, and then we got Zaire, who's kind of our lightning. 4-4 kid who can strike. And I say this a lot, I'll put our skills against anybody in the city right now. I really will. I feel that way. We've had quarterback come in from Olympic, Carter Clifford. He's been good for us this offseason. And we've just been working. I think you're going to see a totally different team.
Any additional questions?
Yeah, Coach, you've been known, to have a strong defense there at North Meck the past couple of years. Talk about Josh and Zaire and how good can your secondary be this year?
Oh, we could be really good. Brian White, he didn't make it today. Brian was another 27 DB. I think he led the conference in picks, so it's tied for the conference. He's electric. He'll be going both ways for us. Like I said, Josh, 3-year starter at corner. Zaire, he's coming along. I love his competition. I mean, he's competitive. Last year he was thinking a lot, but one thing he did was compete. You'll never have to tell him to go hard. And then strong safety. Dave's been playing some strong safety for us. He actually started as a sophomore at Concord. That's where he came from. And so we're loaded. I mean, Mikey McGill at the middle linebacker. I think you know Mikey. He was under the weather today. He couldn't make it, but he's a 6'3", 230 thumper. We got a long defensive end today, but those play basketball. He's about 6'4". So I really do think we're going to shock some people this year. I really do. I'm confident in that.
Coach, speaking of shocking people, when a lot of people look at this conference, they say, oh, 4-0 Meck in that conference. What do you say to that?
Oh, don't feel sorry for us. I mean, and I said, somebody asked me that the other day, because they do apologize. Like, dang, coach, you couldn't get out of that conference. I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, this has been our conference. I mean, like DJ said, when I was playing at North Meck, Independence was in our conference. West Charlotte's been here. Mallard Creek has been here. I mean, to me, it's always been a dogfight in this conference for the last 20, 30 years. That's what this Mecklenburg conference is. So yeah, don't feel bad for us, because every dog gonna have a day.
Awesome. 5 minutes with the Vikings, and then we will bring up the Butler Bulldogs.
Thank you.
I can bring that one out. Thank you, appreciate it.
Butler coming on 4-7 season last year. First round playoff loss to East Forsyth, but you gave them everything that they could ask for in that first game. But you started the season against Olympic in Memorial Stadium. Talk a little bit about what to expect from this Bulldog program. Are we going to get back to the Bulldog teams of old, which is just ground you and pound you to death, and that type of offense and defense that you bring to the field?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you. It's good to be back. I was actually going to be here today either way. I just 3 months ago, I thought I'd be sitting over on that side of the table, not this side. But no, I mean, the really cool thing, we're talking about going into Olympic, going into the season. And I heard a question earlier, like, what's your team? I think you'd ask somebody what their team strength is. So that got me thinking about it. And I think with our guys, what's going to be really important going forward is we've got a giant chip on our shoulder. Because I think a lot of people say, well, Butler had their run, they had their great 25, 26 years, and that's over now. So, I don't know if it was Mark Twain or whoever it was, said that, reports of my demise are greatly exaggerated. So I think, the first thing we're trying to do with these guys is just kind of get them, back to what we're used to doing, back to what, Butler was for 26, 27 years. So, in the process of breaking some habits that may have been picked up along the way, just to get back to who we are. But, who you're going to see who you're going to see that we are on August the 23rd isn't, and I really hope it's not who we're going to be on September 23rd and October 23rd. So, not only that same type of football, but that commitment to continue to improve. And I think that's always been something that's, that's been a part of the DNA of our program, that we always improve. We're always continuing, whether it's individually, whether it's as a group or as a unit, and just that continuing to press forward, that we're never satisfied.
I love it. And you lose a leader very similar to Coach McFadden that seemed that he was at Butler forever, and Zach Lawrence. How do you replace him at quarterback? What to expect at that quarterback position, a pivotal spot on that Bulldog offense?
Sure. And I mean, replacing an outstanding quarterback isn't anything new for us. I mean, we've replaced All-Americans, replaced All-State guys, and, Zach's gonna be no different, but, really the fun part about this for me is just taking this group of kids, like just taking this big lump of clay and trying to figure out who are they? What is the personality of this team? What buttons do you push to motivate this team? But along those lines, like from an offensive perspective, since we're asking, like, we're just going to throw a whole bunch of offense at them. We are. And I mean, and our kids know that. We can throw a whole bunch of things out there and just see what sticks, see what we're good at. So, kind of personnel is going to dictate that, how fast we're picking things up. And again, going back to that personality, who are we going to be as a team? So our quarterback, while quarterback's important, he's just 1/11th of the equation for us on the offensive side of the ball. He's got a job to do, and he's got a really damn important job, but he's still 1/11th of the offense. So, and again, it's what are we going to do with those other 10 spots that benefits him the most, and vice versa. How does our quarterback play benefit our other positions? And that's up to me and our coaches to make sure that all that stuff is tied together.
Love it. So who are these gentlemen to your left and right, Coach?
All right, so we've got, and I brought all seniors with me, so we really have a very small senior class this year. There's only about 8 or 9 of them, so we've got half of the seniors, and, and these are all guys that have played for us. So, all the way to my left here is Donovan Pollard, and Donovan actually played quite a bit as a 10th grader, that last season I was out there. Next to me is James Bastis, and James is a basketball player. He's also our punter. He did quite a bit of that for him last year as well. I got, who are you? No, I got Tyler next to me. And you're going to hear from Tyler, I'm sure. And I put him next to me in case I have to take the microphone away at some point. But Tyler's going to play all over the place for us, whether it's running back, receiver, play on the defensive side of the ball. And then all the way to our right here is Stone Sifford. Stone's another one, got a lot of experience last year as a defensive back that certainly is a senior. And that's a big thing, with these 4 guys and those other seniors, that they know me. And they know how I like to practice, and they know what's expected. So their job, and just like with our coaching staff, because our entire coaching staff at this point either played at Butler or they had a son play at Butler. And that is 100% of our staff. So we got a bunch of guys that know what Butler football is about, how it's run, what the priorities are to it. And these seniors are going to be a big part of that and kind of educating those younger group of guys.
Love it.
My question is for all the players. What is the best thing so far about playing?
The best thing about playing for Coach Hill is probably just the intensity he brings to practice. The environment change that it is, like you can see how the other guys really uplifted by how he moves things around the team.
With Coach Hales, I can just see a difference in intensity, as Donovan said. He's just very focused, he really just pushes everyone to be the best that they can be.
What I would say is the fact that he just really cares, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he left and to be closer to his family, to come back to his other family says a lot. How he thinks, you know what I'm saying? Everything he does has a purpose behind this, whether he's yelling at you to get you to see how you react in certain situations is big to me, and how he takes care of his team.
I'll say how he really brought us back together, when May, we all thought, we didn't know what was going to happen next. So when Hayes came back, he finally told us he was coming back. He really brought a lot of people back, everybody together. We all came close together. We one team now. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much been the same as Donovan. He's always been consistent. He's always been, I believe it was Tyler said, he's always gotten to see how we're going to react. He always knows how to bring the best out of everybody on the team. He's always been there kind of guy.
A coach like Hales, it's hard to get past that 110% that he's always at. It's just constant 110%. So it's hard to get past that,
I've never truly known who this guy is. You know what I'm saying? He would be a whole different person one day, different person next day. I feel like he reacts off us. He said to himself. So however we bring the intensity is how much intensity he's going to bring. He's always going to back it up.
I feel like it's not really too much of a difference from when he was here before. Everything's still the same. He just a little bit more honest because we there, but we not all the way there yet. We there, we getting there though.
Why did I come back? Gosh, Pep, why don't you ask me a hard question next time? There's several reasons. There really are several reasons. Number one, there was a need. There's a need. I love Butler High School. My kids graduated from Butler. Butler High School gave me an opportunity to have a career, gave me an opportunity to make a name for myself, and I was needed. At that particular point, that time of year, I was needed. We could have tried to find a different coach or go off campus, but it just, not to, it needed to happen. You and I can talk other things later, but I couldn't let Butler High School just completely go away. It meant too much to me. It was too important to me, and I don't know if I could say that I owed it to these guys, but I owed it to them. A lot of these guys came in expected to play for me, and if anything, I do have a big thing about me that I feel really bad for the guys that graduated last year. Because this wasn't the plan. Like I said, 3 months ago, I was planning on sitting next to you guys right now. So I kind of feel like a little bit like, and I hope those seniors don't feel like I shortchanged, but I was trying to get away from them. But just, and circumstances come up, and like I've told other people, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here with these guys. I've always loved to do it. One of the topics that came up earlier, though, some of the issues that made me step away are still some of the issues, but I'm just learning how to be a little bit better about them as well. But, more than anything, I just want not just, these guys that are up here with me right now, but, and I think Sam touched on it earlier, just how much your football team and the success of your football team impacts your school. And if I can help Butler be a better school, if I can help Butler and, just be a more positive place, sign me up. I'm here for it. Yeah, definitely. And like I said earlier, just seeing how some of these other coaches worked. There was really 3 big days last year where I missed it. And, the first, they're not chronologically, but one of them obviously is the day of the Independence game. That's no mystery. The second one was their first playoff game, and watching these guys get excited and get prepared. And I don't know if you guys remember me kind of sticking my head in the weight room that day at the end of the day, and it was them. But the other day, as weird as this may sound, was I was at Weddington's practice, and I was watching Coach Capone and his team. And Coach Capone and I and I didn't know this until I went to that practice, but he and I are extremely similar in the way that we do things, in that we want our kids to have a good time, we want our kids to be loose, but we also want them to know when it's time to go to work, it's time to go to work. So more than anything, it was just a reinforcement of a lot of things that I'd already believed, but to actually see it put into place. And to go and see, Mallard Creek practice and see Kennedy out there with 160 guys and being able to organize them, and, to come over here to the big IDK and watch those guys practice a bunch of times and all of that stuff. It was great. It was great. And like I said, it enforced a lot of things, but more than anything else, it gave me another appreciation for how good we have it at Butler. And like I said, we've got 100% of our coaches are tied to Butler High School already. So it's just, we have something there that nobody else has, in that family environment, and that true, like, we've been in it for not 4 years, but 14 years and 24 years. And we've got guys on staff that have been there since the school opened. So, being able to be a part of that, just that unique perspective is awesome.
Any additional questions? Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Awesome.
Thank you, players. And we'll have the next 5 minutes, same with the interviews, questions, pictures, etc.
Good deal. Thank you, Mike.
Is that a new logo?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. Yeah.
We gotta be tight.
There's some update on that.
Take a picture for him.
How's it going, boss?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Good.
Why are you trying to do that?
Try beeping
It ain't even nobody here, man.
All right, and we will welcome our Chambers Cougars and first-year coach, Coach Captain Butler. It's great to see you as a high school coach after the years at West Park, et cetera, where you really helped lead a lot of youth along the way. You're inheriting a 5-5 Chambers team that is loaded with talent. Talk with me a little bit about all of what to expect this year from Chambers football, and most importantly, what to expect going into your first game of the season down there in Clover.
Oh, that one? Sorry. I picked the wrong one up, huh? I'm expecting big things out of this team. This team right here, like you said, last year was 5-5. It wasn't the standard for us. It's definitely over there at Chambers. I know a lot of people ain't gonna believe in this group, but I believe in this group. We've been putting in the work each and every day. This group has bought in since day one. Since day one, since I took over the job. You know, I always told the guys, listen, I'm gonna set up a standard. I'm gonna set the standard. Y'all just follow me, and they've been trusting me with that. So I'm excited, just to be with these group of guys because I know the type of talent that they had over there already. And I think last year wasn't the team that they was expecting. That team last year, I think they was just all over the place. But now that I put a little structure in, I think we can take off from that. And the game against Clover, I'm excited because it's my first one. First one being the head coach. I'm excited, and they coming to us. So that's another thing. They coming to us and get a good game plan going for those guys, and get some of these guys the ball up here, and see where it goes from there.
I love it. So you've heard a lot about these rivalries and so forth today and so forth and so on, but not too long ago you were the standard. So how close is Chambers to being back at that standard? That because you said you follow me, let's get there. I know you
Yes.
have a very high bar.
Yes. I joke with the other coaches sometimes already, in the group chat with the coaches, and definitely with one coach, and had to let him know, like, he's feeling himself a little bit, and I see him in the stands still. I had to let him know, like, you haven't beat Chambers in a long time. I went back to 2008, and you beat Chambers one time. So I'm gonna talk my junk. I'm gonna talk my noise. That's why I'm here. And I had to let them know, like, you go off and say, oh, this and that, but you beat Chambers one time in the last, 15, 16 years. And I know the guys that I got in the locker room and the standard that I'm putting in place. And Chambers football always been good, even when they was Vance. They always had great football. And me being a guy who's not from this state and just coming in, going around the city when I used to have to do events and things like that with the Carolina Panthers, I had to go over there before, and it's so ironic that now I'm a head coach over there. I remember going and have to present a check to those guys when I was playing football, for the Carolina Panthers. Now I'm the head coach over there, and I know what it takes to win. I know the guys got the talent over there, and they just like I said, they just had to give a little tweak and go from there. Like the guys up here that I brought, I know each and one of these guys gonna give me everything I got. Everything I got. I'm not worried about no other schools and things like that. So I'm just ready to work with these guys.
And before I turn it over to me, who are these gentlemen to your left and right?
Oh, to my left, I have Taj Brooks. He actually come from a football home already. His brother last year was all conference. In this conference, he was the starting running back. And Taj is going to be a key player for us this year. And right next to me is my protege. I call him my protege. He kind of looks like me when it comes to a style of player. He's going to play everywhere for us on our defense. Marlon Vincent is a guy who's since day one. He's a young guy, but at the same time, he got what it takes. I'm definitely excited to see him this year, to see the things he's going to do this year for our defense. And to my right is our quarterback, is our starting quarterback. Everybody say he's an athlete, he can run, he can do that. But Zion he's a jack of all trades. He can do everything. He's so competitive. He's a guy who got the drive. He's the heartbeat of our team. If he's having a bad day, we having a bad day. and that's how it should be. Especially with Zion Haley, he's gonna come in this year, and he's gonna shock a lot of people. You know, a lot of people is not giving us a chance. Oh yeah, this is kind of running quarterback. He's more than a running quarterback. You know, he's a door threat. He also can put the ball in there, and he's definitely going to show people that this year. And next, I have Chris Williams. Chris Williams, he's a younger guy too. He's going to get his opportunity to show everybody, you know, what he can do. And I'm excited for him just to be the anchor of our defense. You know, he's playing linebacker for us. He's going to be a guy that go out there, he command respect, he command the huddle, and that's what guys need to look to on defense. And next, we have 4-year starter. Wow, at Chambers. So I always got so much respect for this kid, Darryl Rice. He's a 4-year starter at Julius Chambers. That is tough to do. So he's been around from the ups and downs. And he's starting on center. He's our starting center. He's a guy who can help Zion make the checks. He gets Zion in place when we need him to. You know, Zion messing up, he's like, yo, come on, Z, you got to do this and that. And he's a guy that knows the Julius Chamber way through in and throughout. Like I said, he's been there since day one, and to be a 4-year starter, I just can't keep praising this guy enough. To be a 4-year starter in high school is already hard, but to do that at Julius Chambers is definitely tough. Yes. Oh man, when it came open, I was excited, you know, to put my name in the hat. You know, definitely put my name in the hat because I know the talent level that they had over there. And last year they took a little drop, and everybody's like, "Yo, man, it's a big drop over there. You know, it's not going as well as they thought it would be." But I just think these guys in the locker room, and they needed a guy like me. You know, a guy like me to come in and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. I played at the highest level before. Who cares? Nobody cares about that. But at the same time, I wanted to put a standard in place that, hey, if I say be here, like Coach Tinsley said earlier when he was talking to one of the coaches up here, if I say be there at 6:30, those guys know I'm not playing. Beat Coach Cap ain't playing, man. You better be here at 6:30. Oh, no, I need to get there at 6:20. You know, give myself 10 minutes grace period. And I think that's what they needed over there. You know, somebody's just going to put some structure in place. And all the guys, they always look and say, hey, man, I'm not that old for they don't remember when I played in the NFL. So some of the guys, they remember, oh, man, Coach, man, we remember when you played for the Carolina Panthers when we was in middle school. So I'm at that cuff where they still kind of know when I'm at. I'm not at that age as some of the coaches, but at the same time, I'm at the cuff where the guys kind of still know, and they're going to buy into me a little easier because they trying to get where I've been. Yes, I actually talked to my team about it. The moment that I wanted to get in coaching, I tell all my business. I don't care. I'm an open book. I went through a little divorce. I went through a divorce, and I was sitting at the house, and I was kind of depressed. You know, I'm just being honest. You know, when you're done with the NFL, when you're done with football, you don't know what's coming next. You know, I don't think they prepare us guys, especially when you retire, or what's coming next. So I was sitting at the house, and I was sitting there like, man, what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do next? And I was sitting, I was a little depressed because I'm not playing. The phone is not ringing no more. You know, nobody don't want my service no more on the football field. And Coach James at Miles Park, I give him tons of credit. I was out there training some kids, and he came to talk to me, and he seen what I was doing with the kids, and he was like, "Yo, you should come over here at Miles Park and give it a try, man." I'm sitting there like, I don't know, Coach, man. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I'm ready for that coaching realm. And I was watching the news one day. It's the God and the truth. I was watching the news one day, and I seen former Carolina Panther Captain Munley accept the job at Miles Park. I was like, what? I was sitting like, me? I was like, I never told him yes. And he's kind of put me in the blender right there. So I was like, yo. So I talked to my mom. She's like, son, I think you should go. So I went over there in the spring. And after that, the rest was history. You know, I fell in love with it. I was like, man, I get to pour into these kids and really pour into them and get them to the next level. And like I said, and try to get those guys where I've been. And I had the opportunity to coach with the Bills last year. And I went up there for the internship, and they tried to hire me. But it's different in the NFL than coaching in high school. In high school, you teaching and coaching. Like you're really teaching these guys what is a cover three, what is a cover four. In the NFL, those guys already know, and it's hard to kind of change a guy if they already stuck in some ways. These guys gonna be stuck in my ways, so that's the difference, man. I wanted to come and teach these guys the real game of football, how you play it. And at the next level is kind of different. You know, you just really coaching. You just say cover four, and they know how to play cover four.
You've been there 4 years, as Coach mentioned. Seen it all from one end to the other. What excites you about the coach and what he brings to the table?
I feel like he's been doing a pretty good job, you know, getting the guys bought in, getting us pretty strong in the weight room, you know, helping our body recover, you know, things like that. So, you know, I feel like you've been doing a pretty good job getting us right.
Everything. Like the drive to win, the drive to make it to the next level, the drive to bring somebody else to go to the next level. Because everybody goes to go to college for free, go to the NFL. So just make sure everybody stays on the right track and try to help them to bring them to the next level. So is myself. Yeah, I mean, everybody was fired up. I was fired up because it's like having somebody who knows what to do. Like he said, he's been there for 10 years, so he knows what to do, and everybody was brought in to listen to what he has to say because he's been there and he did what we dreamed to do. So it was very easy. I wasn't expecting it to be that bad, but I mean, whatever to make it to the next level, I'm willing to do it.
Any additional questions?
Coach, we talked before this got going or whatever, you know, in terms of first-year head coach coming into a historic school like Chambers.
Yes.
How tough is it to maybe, how do you walk the fine line between the culture of Chambers and the history and your own? Maybe what you bring to the table?
I know they had history already, and they already had, you know, tradition. You know, I don't want to break tradition or what they already had going on, but at the same time, I got to put my stamp on this program. That's something that I believe in. You know, before I took the job, when I did the interview, I told them, listen, I understand, you know, what Chambers was, what they used to do, and you know, going to 4 state titles, winning 2, and things like that. But I wanted to put my own mix into this program, and they allowed me to do that. You know, I wanted my own stamp to be on this program, so it wasn't like a hard transitioning for me with that because I think the AD, they did the school, they really bought into everything I was telling them, and they was like, listen, we're gonna let you do what you do, coach, and I really I'm thankful for that. You know, some places it can be strict. Some places like, listen, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and that's how it's gonna be. But over there, they really was like, yo, we're gonna do everything that you need. If you need anything, let us know.
Awesome.
I'll see you. You know what week I'm gonna see you, right? Okay.
Excellent. We want to thank everyone for coming out to media today and to all the teams and coaches that made
Stand up.
Thank you.
Are we gonna stand up?
All